it's kind of the ghost of football past, if you will. That game was a pretty amazing experience. Definitely on the wrong end of that. It was just, kind of that up and down where you thought you had it, and kind of pulled off a miracle scoring there with, less than 2 minutes, I think it was. We scored twice and got a 2-point conversion, and I just remember being on the sideline and, thinking we kind of, we did the impossible, getting onside kick, scoring, going up, and was almost in celebration mode at that point, and then, kind of have your heart ripped out a little bit there, especially just, that team was so close with, the seniors that I'm still in touch with to this day. It was just heartbreaking for them, and, unfortunately, he kind of redeemed it the next year. So, I hope there's no pressure on those guys to redeem that game, because we got it done the next year. But, I hope they can go out there and win one in Ranchi for us, I guess. Will Wire was an unbelievable, quarterback at the time. And I remember telling, Riley Martello, I said, hey, man, just give me the fourth quarter and, I'll give you my best shot or whatever. And had a pretty quiet game. I think, Coach Gray did a good job kind of shutting us down for the most part. But, what I really remember was not necessarily that finish was, Kyle Miller had a broken collarbone and played through that, had some big catches for us. And Johnny D, he had a big touchdown, kind of even start the drive. And then to finish there, it was this, it was just kind of crazy how it all finished out. Caught a couple passes in a row and then scored. And, we were real confident in our 2-point play. I remember, going to Westy and be like, hey, we got a shot this week. He's like, I'll tell you one thing, we got a real good shot. If we go for 2 to win this thing, we feel really good about our play. And so we ran the play that we had ran all year long. And it was just a little play action. We had Hunter Gatmeyer back there, and, everyone was scared of running. He can get 2 yards like nobody's business back in the day. And so we faked the run to him and rolled out. Will found me in the back of the end zone. I can still see it to this day, man. There were 2 hands, and the ball just perfectly floated, right over those 2 hands and kind of fell into my lap. And, I didn't even do anything. It was all Will at that point. And, and then it was actually in the end zone where the Bozeman student section was, and it just went nuts. And, it was an unbelievable euphoric feeling to be like, man, we're doing it. And, thought we had just won the game pretty much. And, so that was really special. I think you can take a lot of those memories back. And then, obviously I think I blacked out the rest of it just from memory and personal pain, I guess, from Jake Dennehy's, big leg. People don't remember that he missed the extra point earlier in that game. And so when he lined up to go out there for 46-yard field goal, we felt pretty good about our chances. But you got to tip your hat sometimes, and that's why you never leave a football game early, I'll tell you that. I don't know what he did, but, he toe punched it and it went as far as it possibly could. If I could go back, I probably would have, stood right there on the end line and try and just jump up and block it, like a basketball shot. But because it was just that close, and it just was a couple inches just right over the crossbar. And, honestly, really don't remember. I remember a guy running on late, the ball going up, and the next thing I knew, the whole town of Butte was right around me, and I was just trying to find, some seniors to just kind of, latch onto. But, it was crazy. And I want, what's funny about it is, you're so racked up, and I wanted to hate Jake Dennehy so bad for making that field goal and kind of taking that bit of legacy from that team. But, I ended up meeting the guy later, and, he's actually a pretty good dude. I think all Montanans are, I guess.
I never thought about it, but that must be legal, right? Can you block it down at the other end? You don't have to block it at the line of scrimmage? Could you have stuffed it?
I thought a million ways. I've literally tried to think of a million different ways how to win that football game. And, I don't think there was a lot more any one of us could do. But, that kind of one sticks out in my mind. You would never think to go and do that, but it was crazy. It was really, probably the best Montana, high school football game ever played.
And then final couple questions. You kind of talked about, wishing this year's team luck. What would that advice be? If you could be in that locker room Friday night at 6:45 or whatever, what's that speech you give to those guys to help Coach Weshy and the staff out?
I would say don't be scared of the moment. I think it's really easy to be afraid. All eyes are on you, but, I think this is why you play football, man. you go out there, you work your tail off for a year round for an opportunity to go out there and play in front of the whole state and to write your name in history books. So don't be afraid of the opportunity. Go out there and make the plays. You don't have to be anything special. Just go out there and make the plays that you've been making all year and go get one more win.